These niggas want to hold me back. These niggas want to hold me back. These niggas want to hold me back. Oh, Lord. Yo, what's good? What's good, y'all? Tapping back in once again. Yeah, I'm talking about how these niggas want to hold me back. They want to hold me back. Why they want to hold me back? I don't know. But I want to talk to y'all about, I think there's about 3 to 4 categories of drivers of trucks. I will start with category number 1. Category number 1 is the one that is truck driving because that's what they truly desire to do, right? And you'll know that person because the person loves it. And they didn't want to do nothing else. They didn't have no desire to do nothing else. That's all they want to do. Those people may end up owner operators, and you'll see them with their Peterbilts, and they when they finally saved up enough money, they didn't cashed out, or got a went on payments, and they spoofed it up, they fixed it up, they're making it look nice. These are the type of individuals that you see them, and this is what they wanted to do. This is their passion, right? That's one type. Or those big sleeper ones, the mobile home looking ones with the RV ones. Like, I always knew, like I always said, right? Like I know I'm in category number probably 3 or 4, but when I was OTR, I would see those mobile home type trucks, the ones with the big sleeper on the back, and it's custom. It looks like a small mini studio or apartment. I said, if I had to do this shit, I want to do it that way, right? Because if you can have your own shower in there and your kitchen and shit like that, it takes away some of the pain having those truck stop shits. You gotta go to the truck stops. You got this crazy motherfucker speeding like he got a cock in his ass. But it takes some of that truck stop shit away. That you ain't got to go do the truck stop shit. It takes some of that annoyingness away, and you can do a lot of the shit, most of the stuff in your truck. You just have to worry about parking, and I'm pretty sure that's another thing that you have to deal with. But aside from that, you got those types, right? And then you got the types. This is category number 2. Category number 2 will fit into the ones that were doing something else, maybe, some labor job, some manual labor job, some type of, or maybe a service job or whatever. And they discovered trucking, and now they like to do it. Now they're doing it, right? That's category number 2. Those types, they may stick with trucking. They may not. But usually those types are the types that came from another industry, and usually blue collar workers, right? Then you got category number 3, who was just looking for an opportunity, right? Now, category number 3 can actually fit into category number 3, and number 4 can actually fit together, because this individual was this is the type of individual, like, basically, this individual may be blue collar worker, may be a white collar worker, but at one time they were working a job, and they was like, man, I need something to do. I'm not making enough money. And they thought that trucking, they probably watched some videos or heard, while they're driving on the freeway and they see a lot of these trailers that have, these false advertisements, because they are false advertisements, but oh, make six figures here, get your CDL. And they probably say, you know what? I'm tired of working at this office job, or I'm tired of working at, this, what, retail store or fast food restaurant. So, you know what? I'm gonna get into this trucking. So you got that type, and those type usually don't enjoy the industry. They usually don't. They usually find out that they don't enjoy it, but they're kind of like stuck in the bind because they got, they got to pay their bills. Maybe they took out a loan for truck driving school or whatever, or maybe they got to fulfill a year contract if a company paid for it. Those type of individuals usually don't stick with trucking. Now, category number 4 can fit into category number 3. And category number 4 is the type of individual that I may find myself as, is someone that got into trucking because the economic situation that they were facing, they needed to do something, right? And these individuals may have advanced education to warrant them to be qualified for other positions, but they weren't able to utilize their qualifications or their degree. So now they just doing what they have to do. They're basically doing what they had to do, right? Now, category number 4, which that I am, and I am stuck in category number 4, that now that I'm with this trucking company and I'm trying to advance, these niggas trying to hold me back. What do I mean by that? Well, a lot of these trucking companies, most major carriers, they have the truck drivers side, and they have the corporate side. Now, and also a lot of these major carriers, they have an option to apply internally. Let's say if you're driving a truck, you're truck driving, and maybe you want to switch over to corporate. Well, most of these major carriers have an option for you to apply for positions internally. Like basically, they'll see that, oh yeah, he's a driver for us, and now he wants, he's trying to advance his career and, internally, and move up within this company internally. Well, that sounds good, right? But this is just my theory. I feel like a lot of these companies, when you look at all the people that work in the office, none of them, like I would say 97% of them, never drove a truck, don't even have a CDL, don't know nothing about trucking, right? The other 3% may have, the other 3% usually drove the truck, but they got to a point where, let's say they put in 20, 30 years, and now they want to get out of the truck, so now they got a corporate role. So let's say you're somebody like myself who came in with these qualifications, who came in with these degrees, and they're like, hold on, okay, maybe, I can give 3 months, 4 months, 6 months of driving the truck, but now I'm gonna start applying for some of these internal corporate jobs that you encourage us to apply for. Because if you didn't, why would you have an option to apply for them internally? But what I think they want to do is they want to get to a situation to basically, they want you to put in your time, right? It's funny, they don't want the people that work in the office to put in their time, but they want you to put in your time. So they'll when you see these people that switched over from being a driver to a corporate world, they usually have 15, 20, 30 years. Because by that time, the company will say, okay, we got our use out of them as being a driver, so, let's give them an office job. It usually doesn't happen with a situation like myself, where you have the qualifications and you tell yourself, okay, I'll get through probation. I'll get 3 to 4 to 5 or 6 months of driving, but now I'm going to start applying for some of these corporate jobs because I actually want to use my qualifications. I mean, I did go to school for a reason, and last time I checked, having a degree wasn't a requirement for being a truck driver. So when you try to switch over, what you'll see, and this is my experience, maybe you have a different experience than me, you can put it in the comment section. But what you'll see is now when you're applying for these roles, they don't want to give them to you, right? You'll be applying for these roles and they'll keep saying, oh, we're sorry, we find other candidates that closely match the roles of this position. Now, when you look at the qualifications, it says usually for these corporate like higher management jobs, a 4-year degree. Well, you got that. And sometimes I might say, okay, depending on the level or the role that you're applying for, it may say, okay, you may need 2 or 3 or 4 years. Now, if you're applying for an upper management position, yeah, you're going to need some experience. But let's say you're applying for a base management position like a transportation manager or a dispatcher or a safety manager, right? You don't need 2, 5, 6, or 7 years degree. If you got the qualifications with your corporate degree, with your degree, and the added benefit is that you actually drove the truck, you're more than qualified. You're more qualified than those people that are sitting in the office that never drove a truck, because you actually know what it's like to be a truck driver. You actually know what it's like to be behind the wheel. You know what it's like to deal with all the hazards of driving. And so you know what it feels like to be a driver, so you can relate to the people that you're managing, which is the drivers, as opposed to the person that never did it. But guess what they do? They want to keep you as a driver. So they're going to keep denying you. They're going to keep denying you, and they may go on denying you. You may continue applying for the next 2, 3, 5 years until they feel like, okay, he put his time in as a driver. Okay, now we'll give him the role. But that's not how it should go. And that's not how it should be. You shouldn't have to put in 2 or 3, 10 to 15 years, 20 years before you're able to move up into these corporate positions. Why? Because it doesn't take 20, 30 years to know what it's like to be you'll learn what it's like to be a truck driver within the first 3 to 6 to 4 months. If you know, you know. So you'll learn everything that you need to know within that first 3 to 4 to 6 months. It's not necessary. It's actually a waste of time for you to wait 10, 15, 20, 30 years before you try to advance your career. It's a waste of time. But what these companies, what these major carriers are doing is they're trying to get their worth out of you. They're trying to get that, okay, if we keep them as a driver for 10, 15, 20 years, we're getting our money. After a point, now we'll give them access to these corporate roles. So it's kind of like they tangle a carrot in front of you like you're a rabbit, giving you the illusion that, yeah, you can advance, but they're really trying to keep you stuck. And that's just the reality. So these are the 4 categories of truck drivers. In the comment section, tell me your thoughts, your opinions, and add to it. With that being said, I'm out. Peace.